Hi guys, what I thought I'd talk about today is doing introductions to tunes. I'll give you a couple of those, again thinking in the 1-4-5 line. Then we'll talk a wee bit about pedal notes, maybe a few other things as well. So say for example you get asked to accompany a singer, or again playing in a very small band or something like that, and doing all these lovely songs that we love, Great American Songbook or whatever, and you need an introduction. And you might want to do one that's different from the one that's written, just for a wee change, or maybe the introduction won't be written and they'll ask you to bring you in, or you might be working in your own arrangement. So these are a couple of things that I would do. Now the thing about these things, you can't do it for every tune, but they're good things to have in the memory banks when you might want to use them, and it'd be quite interesting for you watching to see how I do them. Now remember, I'm always talking about this 1-4-5. I'll stick to the key of C just now guys, so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. So as you know, there's 8 notes in the scale. On the key of C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The 3 most common chords normally used in a song are the 1st, the 4th and the 5th. So I always think it's a simple tune, 1-4-5. So 1 being the C, 2, 3, 4 being the F, 5 being the G. It's nearly always a dominant 7th, but not always. So if somebody said to you, oh, it's just a simple tune in C, 1-4-5. So you know the 1-4-5. C, 4, 1, 4, 5. Okay? So again, and what we do is we memorise the rest of the patterns, like say, minor seconds, minor sixes, diminished thirds, that sort of thing. So rather than think of a million chords in your head, you're thinking of the pattern and you're just transposing into whatever key you're playing. So I'm going to show you an introduction I sometimes use. Again, you've got to leave quite a bit of space between them, so nobody says, oh, I heard them play that introduction the other week. Just, as I say, you can modify them yourself, but just you might find it interesting. And especially the one I'm going to show you is using what we call a pedal note. Now, pedal notes are usually played in the bass, but I'm going to use a melody line for a pedal note. And where they originate is literally where it says a pedal. Like the old organ days, even way before Bach in the old churches and chapels, the organist would hold down a note, low note, say for example a low D, and then there'd be a series of chord patterns, but still with the same bass note. So rather than the bass note changing, the bass note stayed the same. So an example of one of the Bach preludes I used to play. I normally played this in a drop down Ds, but I'll just use the open D here just to let you know what I'm talking about. So it starts like this. So the chord changed, but the pedal note, the bass stayed all the same. You get this in all, it's not just so much old classical music, you get it in modern music, jazz as well. And all it means is the bass note stays the same, but the chord changes all the way right around it. Instead of doing a G or an A or whatever, you hold the pedal note, pedal. But what I'm going to do is an introduction holding a melody note, and this time the note will be G. So say you were doing just a simple tune in C. Well, not a simple tune, a nice ballad in C, and somebody wanted to play an introduction, or again, as I say, you're working on your own arrangement. An interesting thing to do is to play a pedal note. So if we're on C, I'll go up a minor third, I'll go to E minor, right? I'll go down a semitone, but I'll play a dominant 7th. Then a minor second, I'm just coming down a semitone at a time. And back to the G, okay? Go through that one more time before I start mucking about with it. So in the key of C, I'm playing a minor third, C, D, E, so that's E minor. I normally play minor 7ths unless there's a reason I don't have to. Right, just coming down a semitone, but this time I'm playing a dominant 7, so it's E flat 7th. Back to the minor 7th shape again for D minor, to the 5th. So all I'm doing is this basically. And then you could go into the song, right? But to make it more interesting, I'll take the note G, which which is down here, which is part of the E minor 7th chord. Okay, you notice I'm completely missing the E string. I'm just playing this from the B string, the G on the B string. When I draw it down a semitone to the E flat 7th, I'll move my fingers so I'm still holding that G. Okay, still playing that G. I'll keep my pinky on that G and I'll play the D minor 7th, again, still holding that G. And then when I play the 5th, the G 7th chord, I'll just play the E string with it. Just playing the G there. Although instead of a G 7th, to make it more interesting, I could play a G 13th or a G sharp 5. Again, these are some of the substitutions you can use for a dominant 7th. A 13th, sharp 5, and if you're really brave, depending on the tune, 13 flat 9th. But you don't always get away with that one. So I'll do that again, just go through it again what I did. So I'm in the key of C, I need a wee introduction to bring in. So I'll jump up a minor 3rd, which is the E minor. Coming down in semitones, so that's E minor, E flat 7th, dominant 7th, D minor 7th, and then a G 7th or 13th. And again, but keeping that G pedal note. Another interesting variation you could do with the last note is to play a flat 9th. So I'll play it up here again so you can see what I'm doing, the flat 9th note. So I'm going to play a G chord, so the 9th note is A, right? So, but it's A flat or G sharp. So there's a basic G 7th chord. There's the 7th note, the F. We'll put the flat 9th in here. Sounds weird there on its own, but if we put it in context with other chords, so we've got this. See what I mean? It sounds quite cool. And you can play it in different tempos. Say for example I did this. Or if I did it slower. The flat 9th. Flat 9th. So that's just one of the ones you can use. Whatever key you're in, just go up a flat 9th. So that was me in C. So say for example we're in A. No, let's make it a harder one. No, A will do. No, we'll make it D. So we're in D, okay. Up a minor 3rd, D, E, F. So it's down the semitone, down the semitone, to the dominant 7th. So whatever key you're in, just go up a minor 3rd. So we're in D. So I've gone up to F sharp. I go D, E, F, but remember there's 2 sharps in the key of D. F sharp and C sharp, so the F will be sharpened. So whatever key you're in, just go up a 3rd. Anyway, that's one. Another one, if you're not looking for something too elaborate, but it's always a good one to use. A lot more simpler, but still nice and effective if it's played well. Whatever key you're in, again we'll go back to C, C major 7th. Then play a diminished, but the diminished is only up a semitone, and the cool thing about it, if you play your major 7th shape just like I have here, to play the diminished, you're just moving your second finger over to get the C sharp diminished. So So now you could go up to a minor second, D minor seventh, but I quite like playing a ninth, so the ninth is A, and then again the 13th, or the sharp 5, so you'd get this. So these are all wee sort of dodges you can do. There's even the walking bass. You'll see bass players use this a lot, so it's better look when I'm doing it this time. So you get the sharp 5. All I'm doing is C, B flat, A, D, C sharp to the D, G sharp to the G. Basically what you're doing is you're playing a semitone before the note. So you're going from C to A minor, right? So I'm going C, B flat, A minor. The next note should be D, but I play a semitone below. Back to the D. Next one's G, but I play a semitone high. So you get this. Anyway, that was just one or two introductions, guys. There's a lot of things you can do, and try things yourself to see if they can work. Say, for example, one of the most common chord changes is 1, 6, 2, 5, but it's usually a minor 6. So right, you'd be going from C, A minor, D minor, G 7th. Instead of playing A minor, try play A dominant 7th just to see how it sounds. See? And then you could jump to your minor 3rd, A 7th again, sharp 5, D minor 9th, G 7th. And the good thing is, once you think, oh, that's quite cool, you don't have to keep thinking of all the chords, you just think of the patterns, right? So I went from a 1 to a dominant 7th, 6, to a minor 2nd, to a 5, and then I went to a minor 3rd, to the dominant 7, 6 again, to a 2, to a 5. So when you change keys, you can, instead of thinking all the thousands of chords, you're just thinking of the patterns. So the 1, 4, 5, minor seconds, minor 6s, just think of them. And once you translate them onto the guitar, again, 1 minor 6, 2, 5, that's 1. Minor 6, A minor, 2, 5, 2, minor 2nd, D, 5, G, and back to the C. And I hope that helps, guys. There's no really rights and wrongs till somebody said it's wrong. Just keep playing what you think's right. I told you that 13 flat 9th's a doozy. You've got to watch what you're doing with that one. Because although sometimes it sounds really cool to you, oh, that's great, people in the audience or other musicians besides you might think that they've played the wrong notes, so it's pretty subjective. But anyway, try all these different introductions, guys, to tunes or even middle eights. And I hope that helps a wee bit. And I'll come back later on sometime and show you some more. Thanks for that. Bye now.